All right, welcome back to the Gridiron, Gabe and Eli mock draft number 9.
That's right.
And Sleeper once again has updated, and we shall be duking it out for the best team. Gabe, you in this draft?
Not yet. Let me select a position. Where are you at?
I haven't selected a position yet. In
I'm gonna
real
go for 10.
Nice. In real life, I want 1 through 5, 5 being my preferred spot.
Yep, I think I'm on that same train.
Alternatively, I want 10 through 12, and the worst spot, in my opinion, is 7. I'm gonna roll with 7. We're gonna see what
I think
happens.
anywhere from 7 through up to 10 maybe can be kind of shit. But really, I think the worst is probably 6.
Then I'm taking 6. And let's do it. I think both of us throughout this series have found more and more that going running back heavy in the first 5 rounds has been paying off big time. There's an easy choice here for me with Sequizzles. I do think there's a realistic chance in our family draft he drops to the 5, 6, 7 range, just because our family makes questionable decisions with their first round picks. So not crazy unreasonable to imagine that happening.
I got him in the 6th last year, and it was a 10-team draft. So yeah.
Yeah.
Although that didn't work out too well. What do you think, Elliott or Jones? I know you've had mixed feelings about Elliott, but now your opinion is on the rise.
I am of the opinion that as it stands,
excuse me,
as it stands, I would take Elliott over Jones. I would also take Austin Eckler over both of them. So if I were here in this spot, I would be taking Ecclestone. So I kind of have it Ecclestone, Elliott, Jones, Cam Akers. That's my ranking.
Ecclestone at the top, huh?
I'm
gonna take Elliott.
And you can probably get Ecclestone on the turn here, which is why you're probably doing that.
I'm gonna go with Akers though.
Ooh.
I think Eccles has a high chance of injury, and I don't want to mess around with that.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, like, you could make the argument McCaffrey does, or Cook does, or Barkley does. All of those guys have had season-ending injuries. Or Chubb last year was injured. Couldn't you make the reverse argument that even though he got hurt, didn't have very many carries last year, so he's got crazy fresh legs, you know?
No, it's not really how that works.
That's how I see it.
Because you're stupid. Oh, Kittle in the 2nd round.
Yeah. All right. Ooh. Clyde is off for both of us. Neither of us are drafting Clyde.
Nope. I will
Even
never
though
draft Clyde.
I drafted Clyde with my first overall pick last season and I won the league. What I should have done
him away.
I should have traded him after that first game where he looked amazing, because I got offered some crazy stuff for him. I think I got offered Dalvin Cook for him. Should have taken that trade.
He didn't, because Travis took Cook with the 2nd overall pick, and he would not have traded Dalvin for Clyde.
I'm pretty sure week 1 he made the offer because Dalvin had a bad week 1. Good Chris Carson pickup there in the 3rd. Oh, I know what you're getting here. Montgomery. You and I having very similar first 4 rounds here, taking pretty much our dream teams here. So it's kind of working out for us. This is looking like a good draft. Okay.
I just think there's a lot of receivers who can fill in for a one or a two, but there's not a lot of running backs who can do the same. So
Seeing as how we're going running back, we're not getting that tier one of receiver. We're basically gonna be playing two wide receiver twos, and you can pick those guys up in the seventh and eighth rounds.
yeah, but I'll be carrying 4 RB1s hopefully.
Both of our teams right now are carrying two RB1s and two RB2s, which is
At least.
awesome. Easy choice for me here. The best receiver left on the board.
I'm not seeing great receiver value right here, so I might pull the trigger on someone like Russell right here.
Nice. Not a
I
bad
would have
call at
liked
all right there.
I would have liked Edmonds or Etienne or Mostert, but I just don't have the space to start them on my team, considering my 2 flexes have already been filled.
Although
So
having
I'm not
a
drafting.
fifth,
I'm not drafting a bench player in the 5th round. That's just
That's
not
true.
going to happen, regardless of how valuable they might be. So I think I'm going to look at the best receivers, and to me, it's Odell.
Dude, I agree with you right there. I think Odell in the sixth is a really good value. It is hard to pass up James Robinson in the sixth round. Even though he'd go on the bench. But someone I have even higher than him, who I'm gonna take right here. Mike Davis. I want 5 starting running backs on my team. I don't care that it means that I'm gonna be severely lacking in other aspects.
Fair.
Oh boy.
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking a beer, so I'm a little burpy.
No worries. If it were to pan out this way,
You take Aaron Rodgers right here.
yeah, but there's a guy who I don't think is gonna make it back to me who I really want. And that's this guy, taking him here.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Not messing around. I want Pitts.
Since I think my running back group is really solid, I'm going to take a little bit of a shot on a second wide receiver here. Chase.
Nice. Oh, the
Over
quarterback.
Amore.
I was hoping to get Brady. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
no.
taking Chase over a more experienced option, as in like a Will Fuller or Juju, who were picked right after, just because I want that boomer bust. That's how you win.
Yeah, that is.
And on that same trail, I'm going to pick up the next rookie wide receiver who I think is going to do well. And
Smitty.
Devonta Smith.
Nice.
Yes.
So here, every other team except team 5 has a quarterback. And the next quarterback off the board looks like it's going to be Joe Burrow. I don't really want to take the chance that I'm not going to get Matt Stafford on the turn, but I think DJ Chark is a really good value in the 8th round here. So I'm going to pull the trigger on Chark. Yes, they took
There
Burrow.
goes Burrow.
So looks like I'm going to get Stafford on this turn here. Yeah. I personally am not a Chark fan, but I think in terms of fantasy, he's a pretty solid wide receiver too.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good season.
Likewise, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be throwing it a lot. He took Jamal Williams. Interesting choice there.
I think it's another high risk, but potentially terrible pick. but I'm willing to make it.
This is a guy
I mean,
who I really want on my bench because I think he might break out later in the season. Or if Godwin or Mike Evans goes down. Maybe.
I'm not sure about this, but I read something today saying that he hasn't even signed
Yeah.
his
Anywhere
he hasn't
Antonio Brown
signed yet.
lands, I think he represents someone who is a high risk, potentially high reward type guy.
That's very true. I think depending on like where he's mocked in these drafts when we hit up ESPN, no one's gonna have their eye on him.
Another guy who I think actually might have a good season is this guy, T.Y. Hilton.
I know you do. You keep on picking him.
I know. Well, you don't know what it's going to look like with Wentz. Wentz is either going to lock on to Pittman or Hilton as their number one. And I just have a feeling like, I don't know. I have a feeling like Hilton's going to be that guy.
It could be. I really don't care about any of these like mid-level guys who might middle in obscurity. So I'm going to take a backup quarterback who could be terrible fantasy-wise. He might be good in real life, but who knows how he's going to perform. T. Lawrence.
Nice. Taking a gamble on a crazy rookie season. If I were taking that gamble, I would take it on Jalen Hurts. But
Yeah, but he's been picked already, and he was picked in the 8th. So
oh shoot. There he is. All right. Well, kind of makes sense.
I
Why.
totally agree. I think Hurts has a better fantasy value than Lawrence, and that's reflected in these mocks, but I'm down to take a risk because I have all my starting roles filled and I'm just looking for bench spots at this point. And what I'm looking for in my bench is high upside.
A guy who I think represents a stash worthy choice. I think you'd agree, especially as a Hawks fan. Rashad Penny. If Carson gets hurt and misses any time, which he has, Penny just pretty much 1-to-1 fills that role.
Unless he himself is injured, which we've seen a lot. But
Hey,
this is his contract year. His 5th-year option was not picked up. So
fresh legs Penny. It's going to be out there.
This is his make it or break it year for the league, kind of, because if he doesn't perform, he's going to be a free agent. And I don't think he'll have much interest if he only has the stats that he's put up so far in his career.
Completely agree. I guess here, there's not many guys with high upside, I think, left on the board. And we have dramatically different opinions on this guy, but I'm going to take my backup quarterback, Mr. Cam Newton.
I don't mind that for a late round backup.
I think the Patriots basically spent their whole offseason building their entire team around Cam Newton. Like every move they made helps Cam Newton. So maybe he has a dramatically better season than he did last year. It keeps surprising me that this kicker is going this late too. Tyler Bass, kicker number 4 on the year last year, and his team is arguably going to be better this year. I don't know why Bass is getting overlooked so much.
He hasn't really proven much. 1 year doesn't mean much for a kicker. He could be cut at any point in the season if he has a bad stretch of 2 games.
It's true. All right, let's look at these teams. I think based on the first 4 rounds alone, both these teams are going to come out looking real strong. Let's see what you got. Russell Wilson, love it. Zeke, Akers, love it. Beckham, Chase, risky. Both these guys, risky. not out of the realm of imagination that they both finish as even top 40 wide receivers, right?
Yep.
Gerald Everett, I think a sleeper, an awesome safe pick here. And then Carson Montgomery, amazing. Don't love Wilson, Everett, Carson. It's a little
I do.
heavy.
Dude, I love it because the Hawks are going ham.
The Hawks are going ham. But I think if anything, you'd want like Wilson, DK, Lockett. That would be the trio. Koo and Buccaneers, hard to get a better combo. And then your bench, Smith, Davis, love it. Jamal Williams, not sold on, but don't hate it. And Lawrence and Bateman, love the upside. So I'm gonna give your team an A, dude. Maybe an A minus, just because on any given week, if Hawks have an off week and perhaps Odell and Chase have an off week, you're gonna lose. So like,
Yes. If half of my lineup has an off week, I will lose. I agree with that.
just a lot of risk on a week-to-week basis. Maybe too much risk, but also ton of upside. And I'll let you analyze my team.
Staff. I mean, Jerry's out, but he'll probably be okay. I don't think anything greater than like a top 10, which is not ideal considering anything outside of the top 10 is not really great fantasy-wise because there's only 12 teams. Anyways, that's just a wash pick.
But reliable, like, you know.
He was hurt last year. Barks and Eccles, good picks. Let's just hope they can stay healthy. Lockett, he's really hit and miss. We saw that a lot last year.
Yep.
Chark, I think he was unrostered to finish the year last year.
He was very injured last year, and Jaguars were the worst team in the league.
Yeah, there's nothing to say that they won't be this year again.
Chark is their number one wide receiver, arguably, easily. And it's
Sure, I'm just saying he's probably low end for your spots that he's starting, which is fine considering where you drafted.
Yep.
But I'm just saying I don't love the idea of Chark being your number 2 throughout the whole season.
I don't either.
But that's obviously made up for in 2 picks below J.K. Dobbins. He had a great end to the year, and Gaskin, who had a great entire year. So a lot of really great star running backs. You just hope that they all keep it healthy all year. Otherwise,
And if they don't, I've got Falcons lead running back Mike Davis waiting on the bench.
You do. I feel like the injury bug might hit your team hard, and your bench might be a little too unbalanced to support it. But
Perhaps.
I like the starting brass. I think it's a great team to roll out if everyone's there.
In reality, I would probably end up playing Antonio Brown or T.Y. Hilton in place of Chark.
You would never. I hate T.Y. Hilton. I don't know why you think he's going to be good, but he's been terrible. He's had like a couple of weeks where he hasn't been terrible, but he's been terrible.
He was wide receiver 41 last year, so that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. I'll give you that. But if you look at his last few games, first off, he was hurt, did nothing until basically week 11. But look at this. 18, 25, 25, 11, 9, 13. That's a fantastic stretch to end the season. So basically,
call it far from fantastic.
That's really good, dude. He averages pretty much 20 points in this stretch.
I'd say it's probably close to 18. or 17.5.
I think he has a
But
chance.
I think he's old. I think he's injury prone, and I think Carson Wentz doesn't have the juice to get it to him.
And then I alternatively could roll out Antonio Brown, who finished the season similarly, nothing.
Yeah, look at these two players, how they started though. Terribly and didn't even play.
They're guys who are on the rise.
This AD's 32. How old is T.Y. Hilton? Click on his icon again. It's 31. You got two old, washed out veterans who used to be good.
Let's look at your team. Let's see the age of some of your guys.
Yeah.
Russell,
That's a quarterback.
32, old.
Okay, Stafford's older.
Look at the average age
Okay.
of your running backs.
Yeah. My average age is pretty young.
25,
25.
old.
How old is Eckler? Cam Akers. What's Cam Akers' age? 22? 21. Oh, even younger than 22.
You got
Chris
old
Carson.
Chris Carson, 26.
26.
Mega
Montgomery.
old David Montgomery.
23.
Look at my youthful squad of running backs. Saquon,
Saquon, 24.
way younger
24.
than Zeke.
1 year younger.
Eckler,
26. Carson's age. Dobbins, 22. 1 year older than Kakers. Gaskin, a year older than Montgomery. My average age is younger.
look at this youth right here. Doesn't even have an age.
He's not even been born yet.
Well, both these teams, I think, are
How
really
old is Stafford?
teams.
35? 33. He's a year older than Russell.
Both of our teams represent great teams based on running back strength alone.
Yeah, I'm sure if we look at these other teams, because we're judging them based off each other, but compared to everyone else, we'll look very strong.
Let's just pick a
You
number
just pick
between 1 and 12. Let's pick 8.
11.
11. Okay. Tom Brady. I kind of love Tom Brady as a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Starting running
See?
backs, Edmonds and Etienne.
SEN could be great, but
I will give him this. The run of Diggs, Evans, and Kelsey is strong here.
oh, dude, he's got Brady, Evans, and Godwin. It's pretty baller.
It is pretty baller. It's like having Wilson, DK, and Lockett.
Mm-hmm.
Will Fuller. Butker,
Suspended.
basically,
Look at this bench, though.
I know the bench is garbage. And you would have, if you played this team versus our team, 9 out of 10 times our team wins because
Probably.
Evans and
Because of
Godwin won't
consistency.
hit on the same week. Chase Edmonds and Etienne will get you a combined 10 points frequently. Will
Yeah.
Fuller will get you nothing for a long time. And Travis Kelsey will crush, but this team's going to score 85 to 100 points on average, whereas our teams will
This is-
score
140.
And let's just take a look at team 3.
Okay. I like this team. Allen, great. Cook, great. Fournette, shit. Ridley, great. DJ Moore could be good. Who knows how Darnold's going to do. Kittle, great. Boyd, I think that's great. Dylan, really bad. That's a terrible flex until Jones is not playing anymore.
So pretty much you're matching up our RB2 and 3, who for us is what? Dobbins and Gaskin,
Eckler,
Carson and Montgomery, Akers, Eckler versus Fournette and Dylan. Yeah, like they're gonna outscore them by 60 points every single week. And do you make that up with the difference of Kittle and Ridley? No, not 60 points. Hence why our teams are way better.
Hence
Also,
the Chris.
if Cook goes down, he's ruined. Whereas if one of our top 4 running backs goes down, even if 2 of them go down, we're fine, you know?
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it here for us
Yep.
in the Gridiron. This is mock draft numero 9.
I would like to point out to everyone too that who you've got right here are the finalists from last year's fantasy football Grady Bowl. So our advice holds water.
Please note that we have a former champion here in Mr. Gabriel Grady,
Uh-huh.
the league's current leading champion here with me, the first and most recent championships, and the 2 finalists from last year. So unlike Mr. Sam, who thinks he has good advice and yet doesn't make the playoffs last year, even though none of his stars got hurt and he struck gold on Jonathan Taylor and Kareem Hunt, still couldn't make the playoffs. Imagine how bad the rest of his draft was to strike gold and still not make it.
Yep. He hit a lot of coal.
He had a lot of baloney. I guess AJ Brown was a little hurt. I'll give him that. But you lost Barkley. I lost Eckler. And when I traded for McCaffrey, I lost McCaffrey. So, like, you know, you didn't
You know
have
what?
Barkley. I didn't have McCaffrey or Eckler. AJ Brown doesn't even come close in comparison to that. So, Sam
I
sucks.
do think, yeah, Sam sucks. I think I had the best draft last year. I just preemptively traded away 2 great running backs who are rookies for peanuts before they started to pop off.
2. This guy.
Yes.
Side note,
All right.
J.K. Dobbins, who Gabe drafted last year, was the most traded player in our league with a total of 18 trades.
It wasn't 18.
Oh, 18 transactions because he was dropped to waivers and picked up and traded.
A lot of that 18 dropping and picking up was purposely racking up the number, but he was the most traded, I think, with like 6 trades between us.
Mm-hmm.
We traded him 6 times and then he was dropped and picked up 12 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike last year, there's not many rookie running backs who I'm sold on other than Javonte Williams, maybe, and maybe like Trey Sermon and Michael Carter. But like,
this is why I want to take up late round rookies, because last year I was not sold on the likes of Swift, who I drafted. Gibson was the only guy who I wanted, but Swift and Dobbins and Cam Akers, I picked them up not knowing shit about them, and they all did great. So I'd be down to take random guys because some of them will be great.
Chuba.
Some of them will be drafted in the first round of next year, or the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It's incredibly unlikely that any of these rookies aren't top 10 to 15 guys this time next year.
2 of them will be top 20 running backs next year, almost guaranteed. There's almost never been a season where 2 rookies don't make it as top 20.
Last year was kind of an anomaly where a rookie running back wasn't then a first round pick, unless you're talking about Jonathan Taylor.
I took Clyde.
I'm saying like last year to this year. Clyde was the first round pick last year, and now he's below. Taylor was not, but now he is. But I think that's way overvaluing, so I'm not really counting it.
There's basically 6 second round backs that are going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds. So, anyways,
yeah,
we digress from Sam sucks. Was the point?
Yeah. Also, Joe sucks. Pop sucks. Gramps, pretty good. Aiden sucks. And Travis sucks.
Every year, I really hate Gramps' draft And every year he sneaks into the playoffs just barely, and his team picks up momentum right at the end. And it's very frustrating.
It's luck, I think.
I think it is luck.
And I think it's been 5 years of like random luck, which isn't how luck is supposed to work, but I think for Gramps, it has.
I think one person who has been unlucky many times is
Pops.
Pops.
Yeah.
He fields a very strong team on a weekly basis, has
And
made the playoffs perennially, and has unfortunately had his worst week of the year during round one of the playoffs, it seems, every year.
He also consistently loses when he has one of his best weeks of the year too. He just matches up against someone else's best week of the season on his and loses. That happened, I think, twice. Both of his best games last year were losses.
Yeah.
And he had the highest average point total out of anyone besides Travis.
Travis's entire season last year can be summed up to James Robinson. Like,
yeah. And think about this. That's why I want a rookie running back who is gonna potentially bust like a James Robinson. You know?
I mean, like, look at Trey Sermon. If Mostert and Wilson got hurt somehow crazily, Trey Sermon,
which they did last year.
Trey Sermon
He goes up.
Like, boom.
Bam. Think about this. Melvin Gordon. Even if he's not hurt, if he plays crap like he did the last 3 years. Javonte.
Chuba.
If Robinson gets hurt. Etienne, number one back.
Carlos Hyde will still be there.
Hyde.
Yeah, I mean,
old, unreliable, didn't do shit last year. On a team that had no running backs because Carson went down. He still wasn't good.
He also went down. That's why they were hurt at the same time.
He was also hurt, not at the same time, and couldn't do dibbles.
Just saying. Etienne.
I don't think Hyde is going to take too much away from Etienne if Robinson is not in the picture at some point in the year. And Harris, he's got no competition.
I forgot about Aji Harris. Aji Harris.
He's, I think, got the best chance to be first round pick next year.
Most likely be a top 15 running back. Like,
maybe not based on skill compared to everyone else, but based on opportunity.
I mean, skill, like, he looked like the best college running back to me. Like,
that doesn't mean, again, it doesn't mean diddles. A lot of college running backs who look great don't perform great. A lot of college running backs who no one's ever heard of pop off. Carson.
He's
Eckler?
the only rookie running back that is pretty much guaranteed to be the workhorse back from week one starting. Like,
yeah. And who have we seen before who've had that same position? Barkley rookie season, crushed it. Zeke rookie season, crushed it.
McCaff rookie season was RB10, crushed it. That's a crush. RB10 rookie season, crush.
I think the only one I can think of who was expected to be awesome, Derrick Henry, Heisman winner, didn't crush it, but now he is.
Josh Jacobs, basically running backs drafted in the first round tend to crush it. You know who doesn't though? Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
Yet.
Clyde.
He underperformed for sure.
Yeah. All right. I think with that, thanks for watching, and
This has
we'll catch you
been
next time.
the Gridiron. Sam sucks. We'll see you next time.